we could do with your expertise on this one.
Someone misses. Or doubtful death. My guy got cancelled by Twitter. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. My guy got cancelled by Twitter. My guy got cancelled by Twitter. Well, no. I mean, he got cancelled, but like, there was no offense that was attended. No.
Not an easy decision, but you handled it well. Thanks.
No problem. Hi guys, Hackles here. Welcome to a new video. And today, I'm gonna try a voiceover for these videos and see how they work. But so yeah, as you saw,
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dry.
I got cancelled by Twitter.
At the moment.
So I didn't fire him. Apologized, but I already knew that was in the game, but I didn't think I'd get it, let alone so early. But alas, we move straight into quali. I did all of the practice programs and everything for development. So I will take you guys through on this flying lap here. I'll kind of tell you how the car feels as well. Alright, open up the DRS. The lap starts, you swing to the right, try to get as wide as you can for this left-hander, and watch out because it turns right. This part's very tight and you can spin easily there. So going up the short hill, and then you have the chicane. Chicane is pretty forgiving, but that wall isn't. You can cut it really close as you go into this right-hander. Brake hard for the chicane. You can easily spin there. As you can see, I almost did. Switch it back. Open up the DRS. Going down to this other chicane. The chicane's a little bit more trickier. You can easily spin on that first turn. And as you can see, I hit the wall there. Break down into this big, massive hairpin. And be careful getting on the throttle. You can easily spin there. Now this part's just straight to the line basically. Open up the DRS, you got the short right hand turn and you flooring it all the way down to the final hairpin, probably the hairpin you have to brake the most for. You can really get away with cutting on that hairpin.
Okay, take it easy on the
And coming to the line.
This level of damage.
It was a pretty good lap. It was a pretty good lap. And as you can see, got the 7th fastest time of the session, which was really surprising to me because I didn't expect us to be that quick. I thought it was just going to be your normal like P12 or something. But as we go for Q2 on this flying lap, I'm not really going to commentate over, but first you see our teammates Dan ticked them. I started another save. Made sure the first place we got a podium because there was an error with my save file, so I had to do it all over again. And we got Tictum as our teammate again, which is nice, I guess. But alas, we also have some upgrades coming through. We have a decent amount of upgrades coming through, but this car, when you're driving it, it just really suits the track. And obviously this car hasn't been upgraded that much, so it's still heavy. It's not that aerodynamic. The engine isn't that good, but the car just stuck well. As you can see, the rear stepped out a little bit. I don't know, the rear just gelled. As you can see, I believe we had 2 purple sectors. Coming up to the hairpin, chucking it through there, opening up the DRS. And then Q2 we go fastest of the session. And Lewis Hamilton bests us by 600ths of a second, which means that we are very competitive. Here, dictum goes out, but I didn't expect us to be this competitive. And as we go on this flying lap in Q3, our first Q3 appearance, we got a lucky podium last time based on strategy, but we qualified on stalls, but it's supposed to be pouring Sunday, so we shouldn't have to worry about starting on soft tires and maybe doing a two-stopper. I'm loving the new handling model. If you have like any of the 10 regular team cars, it feels pretty good in the rain. You can actually like push in the rain and all that. Cause like before this year, I could only drive classic cars in the wet, cause I'd actually be good at that. But the modern cars, like the cars the game was specifically made for, couldn't drive them in the rain, man. I'd spin every 2 seconds. And that was with a functional. And then I was using pedals. Now I can use the paddle shifters on any of the regular cars and do perfectly fine. But here he comes to line. That's provisional pole. That's provisional pole. And this was a big shock to me. I didn't expect to get provisional pole. We're on a second flying lap here, hoping to gain on our time. We're still on provisional pole, but I believe everyone's not gone back out yet. Yeah, like I was saying, I couldn't drive the modern cars on this game. Or on those games until this game came around. I could actually drive it. But, maybe not with the FOM car. I think you need a real pedal set for the place we're in now. Well, as you can see, I went red sector 1 and purple sector 2. So I run wide there, rear steps out a little bit. But we hang on to the time, and I really wanted to improve because I feel like if I didn't improve, we wouldn't get pole, our best chance to get pole in only our second race at the Canadian Grand Prix. So we're gonna chuck it through there, and we lose all our time, and we're not gonna improve on our time. Basically the same as the first. So we're just gonna have to hope it gels. And we are on pole position for the second race for the Canadian Grand Prix, which means we actually have a chance to do pretty well in the race.
We'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Sure, you're pretty happy with that. Looks like you had a great qualifying session. It must be a relief being that far up the grid. You scraped the walls a few times. Were you struggling for grip?
Thank you for your time.
We're back once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's a tricky circuit to tackle in wet conditions, with top speed still of critical importance down the long back straight. There are 2.7 miles and 14 corners overall on a circuit that in the dry can see average lap speeds of around 130 miles per hour. We'll be lucky to get anywhere near that today. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. It's the owner-driver in pole position then, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo and Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz and Sebastian Vettel, Stroll, Gasly, Fernando Alonso and Tsunoda, Ocon, Tigtum, Kimi Raikkonen and Antonio Giovinazzi, Russell, Mick Schumacher, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10
Copy.
finish.
So, yeah, we're in a very good position. It is raining. Maybe, depending on what this car does in the wet, we could do well. As we go to 5 red lights, and it's out, and away we go. It's a very poor start. I get a lot of wheel spin, but no one really got a good start there. But now you will see when I say maybe not with the FOM car. The car is a disaster. It was a disaster class to drive in the wet because I couldn't control my throttle. I only have 0 or 100 on these on my paddle shifters because I can't use pedals. I can't use my pedals. It's very hard to drive in the rain because you have to apply the power at the right time while also trying to set competitive times. As you can see, this is a madness, and I know what Anthony Davidson said. You know, it like when it's lap 1, basically don't act like it's like coming near final lap. But I felt like I had to here just because. No, this was our chance to win a race. So I was going to be as punchy as ever.
Some information on Giovinazzi. They are
And the virtual safety car is out as Giovinazzi is out of the race. So we're going to chuck it down into lean.
drop your speed. Our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Yeah, I also made the schedule 16 races instead of the full 20. And we're going to do the full 20 next few seasons.
Until the green flags.
And then probably about like season 4 or 5, we'll set it back to 16. As we're under green, I didn't crop out this race at all because the whole race was exciting because I'm sliding around everywhere. And defending for my life. Rear steps out a little bit. Yeah, that's a very reoccurring thing. The rear stepping out and not being satisfied at all. And how I apply the power. Like there.
Incident on track, but officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now. Just be careful.
I mean, if I were the FIA, that would have been like a warning probably. I didn't necessarily mean to deliberately block him, but I just covered it up. I was like, I ain't trying to get past, man. And whenever it comes to that final chicane, I always want to have the inside lane because I can go way faster than them into the final chicane because I can get away with track limits. The rear steps out once, twice. This was pretty annoying. Jeff? Jeff? I'll try to ask how the weather's doing, but So we're under attack by Bottas now. Gonna force him to the outside, and he's gonna brake earlier than us, so we're just gonna take the line and the lap. Rear steps out again. Bottas cannot capitalize on it, but Checo Perez can. And almost get sandwiched, but I try to brake as late as possible. I'm trying to hang on to this lead with my life. And Checo goes down the inside, and I try to dart, put on pace with it.
Easy on the aggression. We need clean up
Look at this. There's 4 people around us. He can put a blanket over us as we go down to the final chicane, and I get lucky and still keep the lead. You can see getting off the hairpin. I had so much wheel spin. I basically held on to Perez for dear life. And you'll see why this race gets so exciting. I mean, it's only lap 4. And the rain is starting to let up. But when it comes towards the end of the race, you'd think it'd get a lot more hectic than this. I blipped the throttle through there a little bit. Raikkonen sets the fastest lap of the race. We were wanting to step out again. So yeah, I'm hoping for no mechanical failure. Rear steps out twice there, because this is our best position to win a race, and we shouldn't be in this position. But I don't know why we even got to go for pole. Because, I mean, I still have the difficulty at 90. And 90 is what I usually play at. I usually play at 90 because 90 for me, it's realistic, but I can still push. And when I push, you know, it actually makes a difference. So, like, I tried 100 instead of 90. And I tried... And I tried pushing, and when I was pushing, I was still losing time. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it on 90, not gonna tweak it or anything. Because when I'm on 90, I'm competitive, and when I get to push, it makes a difference. Like, I'm actually pushing. I blipped the throttle more through there. Car almost ends again. So might as well be like a Formula 1 drift-tage, because the rear is stepping out so much. And I can't really be gentle with it. Just the main issue. And lap times are getting faster, so it's still drying up. Maybe we'll be able to change on slicks. A big tank slapper there. As Perez is going to try to make the move around the outside. I gave him the outside lane because I knew I wanted to swoop and take this inside lane. Checo's going to try to come back at me. And kind of block him off there. I subtly blocked him off. I was extra careful there, but it cost me there. As you can see, Checo's down my inside. It looks like he's going to be clear. He goes up into me. I have to run wide. And gladly, I don't have to give the position back because I was forced off. So we're just going to snap a few times. So this is going to have a go again, but I close the door, being very, very, very punchy. Okay, what was there lag? What just happened anyway? I accidentally squeezed Checo into the wall. I didn't realize, I didn't give him that much space. Gave us a safety car. And I kind of killed Checo's race because of that. I actually wanted to have a brilliant fight with him, and I didn't mean to do that. And it's the second time I've ended up ruining people's bloody races.
We don't think it's going to stay dry for much longer. The rain could come at any moment. Watch out. 10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now. We're coming up to the safety car now. Do not pass it. You are the leader. Follow the safety car.
So yeah, we're just gonna stay behind the safety car here.
ETA on this rain clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there. We're expecting the rain to hit us any time now. We anticipate an end to this rain in around 5 minutes. Inters look like the
Yeah, copy, mate.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. You will be controlling the pace on the restart. Keep it steady until the safety car has reached the pit lane.
I'm gonna hold them up and I'm gonna go for the old, just gas it on the start, no waiting. And it didn't work that well. But I kinda got the gap out using the overtake. And there's 10 laps to go for me to hold on. Will I hold on, or will someone else take the win? Will I get a podium? Will I crash out? Will I get a mechanical failure? Just blipping the throttle. I felt more in control of the car here because it basically wasn't raining. The track was just wet.
I don't think the line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a while longer.
Coffee?
leading our teammate by 5.0 seconds.
Oh, 2, maybe even 3 as Lewis is gonna fly by, gonna send it down the end. Okay. I guess we just teleported. Could just gain some time on Lewis, or just left Lewis in the dust. Your strategy option, is it time to switch? No, for enters. No, we're not pitting. As I go incredibly wide there, because I was too busy paying attention to the MFD. And Lewis is just going to catch up very quickly, because I'm not the fastest at this track, and I'm also trying to manage the MFD.
Rain coming pretty soon. Looks like the weather is going to dry up in about 5 minutes. Inters seem like the fastest.
Bro, you've been saying 5 minutes for about 20 hours, man. I just want to get off these inters and the track to be dry, man. This is gonna fly into the pit lane. Maybe he's gambling for slicks. But we certainly do not have a scheduled pit stop.
Tire condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Yeah, I wasn't focusing on my tires. I was just focusing on keeping these guys behind. I didn't really care how my tires were doing. A block again from Ricardo this time. Gonna slide up as I experienced some serious lag. So Ricardo's gonna send it down the inside. Is he gonna get the move done? They're gonna try to force him wide a little bit. Power down. Rear doesn't step out that much. Feel like I've gotten the grip there. You're gonna block it. Bottas with the switchback.
It looks like we'll be running on a dry track soon. Back to dry shortly. A new strategy is available.
New strategy. That's for medium's gonna fly into the pit lane here. Check if we have any new softs. No, they're used, so we're gonna go with the mediums here, and these will definitely take us to the end.
Daniel is in the pits. Daniel in the pits.
We need a good pit stop by these boys. A 2.8 second pit stop, pretty average. I've gone a 1.8 before, so.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stop.
But appreciate you guys for the pit. And we're ahead of all the medium runners. The rear steps out a little bit, so we just gotta stay in front of everyone, and we should be fine to cruise home for this win. But we know it's not gonna be that easy.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
What are you on about? Nah.
Okay, copy that.
So we go purple in sector 2. It's clearly the slicks are the tire to be on. Leclerc's got DRS. I'd even see DRS get enabled. But he is all over me. And I'm going to defend that position well. And everyone should be in the pits this time round. So we'll see if we get out. We get out ahead of, more than ahead of Bottas there. Leclerc sets the fastest lap. Vettel sets the fastest lap. As where is he going to come out? Vettel's going to come out about P4, fighting with Lando there. And me and Leclerc going toe to toe. It's always at this section, man. My computer hates that section. Or OBS does. Anyway, Leclerc and Bottas are merging towards me. Is Bottas going to get the move done on Leclerc, though? That's the real question, and he does. minimum wheel spin, and I'll try to get in my groove. Trying to be the driver that put it on provisional pole. Just trying to stay calm and consistent here. To get something for corner cutting. Trying to push my limits. It looks pretty gray. This livery looks like. With the gray clouds out.
Gap to teammate behind is 7.1 seconds.
Copy. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap. See, it's teleported again there. We go purple in sector 1. And Bottas, he's got a vigorous amount of pace, but I'm still there so I can send it down the inside. There's really no strategy, so I could have just been like, oh, I'll let him have the position so I could get DRS on him and then overtake him. No, we don't do that here. We just block. And Seb's going to come into P2 here. Sebastian Vettel into P2. And I'm still going to defend this lead from him, even as my favorite driver. Even out of everyone, if I had to give someone a win to, and I'm leading, I'd give it to him. I'm holding on to this for my life. He's already got 53. I mean 54. So he doesn't need his 55th quite yet. He's got Slipstream, he's got DRS. And the Aston was very powerful in his hands. I'm guessing it's just some Seb Vettel magic, but when the Aston's, I don't think the Aston's up to par how it is in real life, how it is in this game, but he's absolutely hammering it past me with ease.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
As if I'm an F2 car or something, just getting really disrespected as I'm gonna chuck it into here. Appoy ERS, try to stay with him as close as we can, and we're gonna send it down the inside on Sebastian Vettel. We're gonna go closer, we're still going side by side. Out of the hairpin, and we're still side by side. Vettel's gonna lunge ahead. I can't really turn in. I can't get the move done. I probably have to get the position back. I do have to get the position back.
You need to get that position back. That was
So I let Seb get the position, and I just send down the inside. Go a little bit wide, but I still respected the FIA's rules. And I got the move done, and now Bottas wants some more. As I defend greatly from him. I hope Seb doesn't have any damage. I ruined his race. I ruined his race last race. So I hope I didn't do it this time, as Lando's gonna get past Sebastian Vettel. It seems like he's falling behind here. Bottas slipstream, DRS probably overtake on. He's gonna send it around the outside. I'm gonna hold behind him. And I knew I wasn't going to get any DRS, so I was just going to try to hurl through it with the RS, coming to 2 laps to go here. And I was just going to send it down the inside. What a move. It looks very clean as we bump wheels, take them out the session. And we're still side by side. Going to get to this hairpin, I couldn't really make it, and I don't have to give the position back. As it's getting very feisty towards the end of this race, as everyone's like in a train, everyone wants some. Me, then Bottas, and Norris, and Vettel, Verstappen. And there's a Scarlet Ferrari line, that's probably Charles Leclerc. And Carlos Sainz says Bottas is going to try to go to the outside. I'm going to brake later than him, try to force him to the outside, park it a little bit, get the power down. And hopefully have more traction than him, but he has more traction than coming to the straight, getting DRS. Lando's also gonna have DRS on us, so that's gonna be double trouble. Gonna try to defend I just teleported across the track. Cool. And I just chucked it there. Norris and I touched, but coming to the final lap, Bottas is mainly who I'm going after with a very ambitious launch, but gets the move done. Maybe not as clean as the 2018 British Grand Prix move from Vettel towards the end of the race on Bottas to win that Grand Prix, but those two overtakes on Bottas in turn 1 was similar, and I'm going to try to pull away here. He's still going to have DRS. I'm not going to play ERS, I'm just going to save it. He's going to catch up here, and I'm just holding on to my life. Just one more lap. Don't spin the car. Let's keep the car together. He's getting really close as I go defensive into the hairpin. And we're going to park it in there. Looks like it's yellow flags where the hairpin is. Ocon's out the session. I block Bottas basically.
They're retiring the car.
Stroll's out. But Bottas overtakes us on the outside. We're going to lose this race. But I'm just going to send it down the inside going into the hairpin. And off the final corner. We're going to win our first race in our second Grand Prix.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Thank you guys.
So after a day of mixed fortunes up and down the field, we bring today's race to a close.
We won in our second race. First race we got a podium. These two lucky races.
Ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make.
Well, this one wasn't as lucky as I just defended for my life. But we were pretty lucky that we got called into the pit lane right next to it.
Very difficult race.
As we're gonna collect the first player's trophy, and as we're gonna spray non-existent champagne. I don't know what kind of glitch this is. I've never had this before. Well, as we're spraying non-existent champagne, you love to see it. You get air, everybody gets air. And Latifi got driver of the day, but
Today, we welcome a new driver to the top of the championship.
with that win, we'll actually take the lead of the drivers and constructors world championship, which is pretty interesting.
Let's have your thoughts. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret?
There's no secret.
Well, looks like your luck has changed. Things went a lot better than last week.
Last week it went pretty good. We got P3.
Appreciate your time.
No problem.